Hello everyone, Troy here, and welcome to my Joshi Journals. And today we're going to be talking about Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Princess 5, and we are going to be talking about an absolutely fantastic show, but I'm scared that I'm going to fuck something up as a new viewer. So I have with me today as a guest one of our very own TJPW experts. Shall we call him that? Yeah, joining us today is Quincey, aka SlapViperLLC. Hello, hello,
Hello.
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 How are
Hello.
you?
I'm doing well, honestly. I'm very excited that I was given this opportunity, and hopefully all the viewers of the Joshi Journal, and hopefully and of course some of my viewers as well. And when I show them over to this video, they really appreciate this video to get like sort of a review about the show.
Right, right. And yeah, what a show this was. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm really excited to have you on. But overall, what was the vibe for Wrestle Princess 5 for you? Like in comparison to like say previous Wrestle Princess shows?
Um, so this was the first one that, or actually no, this is the second one I actually stayed up for live. Um, and so I actually the vibe with this one with I was a lot more of a fan of a lot of the matches, a lot more of the matches going forward with it compared to the
Right.
last one. I'm not saying the other one was a bad card, but like I just preferred this one in terms of everything that was going around with it. And so I was just really excited. I was grinning ear to ear right up until like, of course, even after I hit that stream button. But yeah.
Right, right. And yeah, in my case, like you guys know this, my channel has mostly been Stardom, so this is sort of technically still a very new thing to me. I only started religiously following TJPW starting from this year's Tokyo Princess Cup, which was amazing. So yeah, Wrestle Princess is like my first actual like major TJPW pay-per-view where I'm like aware of sort of like the storylines and the rivalries going into them. So I'm excited. I say we just jump right into things. We're gonna be covering the main championship matches. Starting with the International Princess Championship match featuring the champion Yuki Arai versus the challenger Moka Miyamoto. All right. I hope I didn't butcher up any names, but let me just start by saying that I came into this not really knowing much about Moka Miyamoto, and I'm not sure of how many times she's challenged for the title in the past, but I think this was a pretty fun match. I think it started off very technical, and I think throughout the match it was pretty technical, so it sort of gave me that intro to what Mocha is all about because I already know enough about Yuki. Okay, like I've seen the Tokyo Princess Cup, I've seen that match against Suzume. Oh, babe, let me not start. Okay, that woman can go. That woman can go. So this was more of an introduction of Mocha in my case. Like this is me getting to know what she can do, wondering how the hell she moves in that big ass skirt.
Yeah.
Is that not a heavy ass like thing to wrestle in? But
Yeah,
listen, you do
I
you,
can
girl. But
imagine.
she looks fantastic.
So of course, like going in, there is like some of the history with them. I mean, they were both like their first like wins against each other, and of course,
Really?
yeah, their first like wins, like when they even like they first started. And then also with the fact of like both of them both lost like their tag partners earlier this year, and then challenging for the belts against Daisy Monkey. I think that was a really interesting dynamic. But this year, I've really felt as if Mocha has really came into her own as a performer. Like she's really started to really step up. Because I will admit, before I wasn't the biggest fan of Mocha, but I will say she has like tremendously improved. Like the match she had with Sheeta earlier this year, I I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed everything like she's done like she's done this year, and this title match was no different.
This was the defense right after Yuki versus Arisu Endo.
Yeah.
Oh baby, let me not get into that match too much because
God,
ooh, ooh my
that
god.
that is going on my match of the year list. I will say that with
Oh
that
for sure.
match. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, so this was sort of like, okay, who's this Moka Miyamoto girl? What can she do? And she did great. I enjoyed the match. Um, and that's on the other side, like in terms of Yuki, like she does what she does best. This was a typical Yuki match. I still love her. As a new fan, I'm getting into like her stuff, her moves. Um, the finally finisher is really pretty. I love it. Um, but yeah, this was a really more of an introduction to Moka in my case because I've never really heard of this girl in like at least in the main championship picture so far. Like I remember just seeing her in like these 6 woman tag matches or any regular tag matches. So this was a really big stage for her, I believe. And yeah, I hope it got her some new fans and some new viewers out there.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Like I said, like I said before, she's really just came into her own a lot this year. And this match, it really just showed like how much she's like improved, just like in terms of like her pacing and her timing with a lot of her attacks and a lot of her moves. She was a great foil to Yuki Arai, and Yuki Arai reciprocated that energy back, and it turned out to be one of my favorite matches on the show in terms of just wrestling ability.
So who do you see next in line for the International Princess belt?
I would like to see Suzume challenge for it because she did challenge later or sorry, she challenged earlier last year against Rika Tatsumi, um, and in a really great match. And that was one of the matches where I really felt as if it was like a big sort of coming out for Suzume, just like really like showing people like, oh hey, like I can go, like I'm one of the younger people on the roster with a not as much
Yeah.
experience, but I can still go. I have that passion, that energy, and Suzume, I feel as if would be great for that, especially like knowing like the story they had earlier in the year with that, of course, like with the Princess Cup as well, and of course with the tag title match, like I talked about before, and then also with that rift that you have with Arisu Endo, whereas like I just beat your tag partner. Now I'm about to beat you. Like if Yuki Rai were to say that
Mhm.
to Suzume.
I'm here for the Suzume agenda, especially since, Arisu just challenged for the belt. Let's have Suzume challenge for it now that, they don't have the belts anymore. Let me talk about that later. But anyways, yeah, I want to see her go for it. But as for Yuki, she's doing great. I see her having a relatively long reign. I want to see her have more matches against more girls, especially up and coming girls. I want to see her versus Kaya Toribami. Ooh,
Yes,
talk
please.
about that.
I would like to see that a lot. But also a thing with this, of course, like with Yuki Arai winning and everything, that actually made her pass the defense record. Like she's at 5 now, and
Really?
and I think she has to reign until the end of the year, I believe, and then she would officially have the longest reign. I'm trying to remember because I know Thunder Rosa has the longest reign, but that was because um, 2020, you know.
Ah, okay.
So, um, and so what I think TJPW is going to do, I think they're going to have her break that record because if you don't know, with Thunder Rosa, she won the belt, had no defenses because, uh, yeah, 2020 happened.
Okay, I see. But yeah, I I need to see this girl wrestle more because she's great. She's great. I want to see her bust out new moves every here and there. And yeah, great showing for Moka. Definitely put her on the map in case anyone, such as myself, weren't much aware of who this girl was. But yeah, moving on to my favorite match of the night, baby, please. Woo, send me your guardian
This
angels because we had the Princess Tag Team Championship match between Daisy Monkey, Suzume, and Arisa Endo versus, how do you say this tag team? 1-1.
uh,
Something? 1-1.
121 million.
1-1 million. There we go. Miu Yamashita and Maki Ito. Mm, how do we start this off? I'm gonna
My
let you take the wheel on this one. What say you?
God, just I know there were people that were not a fan of the result, and I understand that. However, I will say that that match that I watched. was as close to like Arisu Endo and Suzume have a already had a serious case for tag team of the year, and that really cemented themselves as like like possibly the greatest tag team this year. Like that was a case of, because when I first started watching wrestling, I got into the old school stuff. I'm 22 by the way, but my dad and stuff like that. He would he had all like the old tapes and everything. We would watch people like the Midnight Express, the Rockers, JYD, people like
Okay.
that, and I would always look at like the Rock and Roll Express, and um one of the terms back in the day, it was sort of or I guess that sort of evolved over time. It was called playing Ricky, which would mean it's like a babyface in
Mm,
peril and a tag team. Um, which basically means like taking all the heat and everything, but then with that fiery comeback. And honestly, they did exactly like Daisy Monkey did exactly what like the Rockers did. Like this was such a star making like I went probably not star making, but like this is definitely like really like that was a match that really elevated Daisy Monkey. I feel like they were already good,
yeah.
but like I think they just needed like another like tag team that works like that big sort of another like that big sort of main event style. And honestly, my MVP of the entire match was Arisu Endo. She like during this entire year, she has like been getting such big cheers. Like she was going 50-50 with Yuki Arai in her own hometown. She was getting pretty big cheers against Yuki Arai in
Yeah.
her own hometown. Like that's crazy to me.
Her anytime like her and Miu were one on one in the ring. Oh lord, those two girls just went the fuck at it. I was like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't even know like going into this that because some of my other TJPW fan friends were telling me, because I was going into this like, okay, Daisy Monkey's been champion for just a little over 2 months, I believe, or 2 to 3 months. I believe. And so I said, okay, this is what they call the new era of TJPW, Miyu, Daisy Monkey, and Yuki Arai as champions. So I didn't see them losing that night, but also, it's Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have no idea. And now I understand why I have no idea where this could go. But they held their own. Okay. They held their own against like staple names in TJPW and Maki Ito and Miyu Yamashita. And I don't know about you guys, but like for me, it felt like it could have gone either way, especially with the near falls, with the signature moves and the kickouts. It was crazy. But I agree, Arisu Endo was definitely the star. Like the let me say this, like the she owned this match. Okay, she owned this match. Everyone owned the match, but she just stood out to me the most. Anytime her and Neo were face to face and in that ring, it was crazy to me. It was crazy to me, and it goes to show that she, along with Suzume, they are both ready for, I don't know, singles title runs in the future. I'd love for them to stay as tag partners, and I hope they do for a long amount of time. But sooner or later, I can see them, being singles champions in the future. And hopefully that does come eventually. But for now, I think this was a very, very good, like, career defining match for Daisy Monkey because, oh my god. Ooh, crazy. Absolutely crazy. If you're not a fan of Daisy Monkey after this match, shut down the television and just stop watching wrestling. Were we watching
Like
the same match at that point?
you, yeah, you're probably I don't know. You might need to get your glasses checked or something because we're
Mm-hmm.
not watching the same match. But honestly,
You.
like it was just like the good thing. Here's the thing with professional wrestling, the job that wrestlers have is to no matter what the result you might think in your head is, no matter what you think it's like, okay, it's a foregone conclusion, he's winning, she's winning, they're winning, or whatever. um like if they can make you believe, even if it is just for a split second, that there's like any sort of hope. Like I went into that match, I'm like, okay, the writing's on the wall, the fat lady's singing, it's over. But towards that end, like towards like the end, I'm like, they're trying to make me believe. And here's the thing, they still lost, but I think like Daisy Monkey still lost, but I think in terms of loss, that was like as far away as far away from as they could have got to not losing while still losing, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it was, like I said, it really just could have gone either way. They like both Suzume and Endo look like $1,000,000 leaving the match. Neither one of them, I don't think neither of them looked no one in this match looked particularly like bad. No one, like everyone got a big spot in, and Daisy Monkey, like I said, even in defeat, they had moments that made you believe, even if it's just for a second. Like at the end when it was the skull kick. It was, I think it was like Miyamoto hit the skull kick on Arisu Endo, but then it was like Suzume like distracted her or something like that. And then when Yamashita went to go like grab Endo like rolled her up, and I'm like, there's no way. Like I watched that live, and I'm like, I nearly stood up out of my chair because I thought she was just about to roll her up and win. I'm like,
Right.
oh my god, that would have been crazy. That probably would have got the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, listen, there were a lot of moments where I wanted to just stand up and say, "Bitch, this better be the end." Like, oh my god, if this is not the end, then I don't know how this match is gonna,
Yeah.
cap things off. I don't know how often they do like time limit draws either in TJPW.
It is like very rare. It
I
is like
see.
very rare that they actually do like time limit draws.
I see. Because listen, I came into this as a Stardom fan right off of the 5-star Grand Prix. So listen, draws are not a new thing to me. So I said, "Oh Lord, if this could go the distance, I don't know what the time limit was. Was it 30 or 20?
It
Probably 30.
it was 30 because that match went like over 25.
Oh my god!
I
And
think that was the
the funny
longest
thing
match of
is,
the night.
I think so too because it didn't feel like 25 minutes at all to me.
No, it didn't.
I think it was that good. It was that good, but yeah, there were just so many moments in this match where I thought either team could win. There were lots of moments when Arizu was so close to the win, like a roll up you said, and then just Suzume comes in, does a 2-for-1 special on Maki and Miu.
That
Like
was so
how
cool.
how is she taking out both Maki Ito and Miu Yamashita in one move? And like, oh my god, that woman is crazy. Like for someone that size, that skinny, that small, she should not be doing these crazy things. But listen, girl, you do you. I am fully behind you. I support you. You throw your RKOs here, here and
Yeah,
there,
yeah. It's
which is
it,
crazy. But yeah,
I think it's crazy to me because, especially like with Suzume, because she got into wrestling because of Rika Tatsumi. Funny enough, um, Yes Wonderland 2018. When Rika Tatsumi is coming down the ramp, you see Suzume there, and she's like taking like pictures and everything. And the origin story was,
mm,
after that match, it was Rika Tatsumi versus Miyu Yamashita, I believe. Miyu won, beat Rika, and Suzume was literally like crying after the match because she just saw her favorite wrestler lose,
ooh,
and so she got into wrestling because of that, and the fact that, and she's probably learned some of that that psychoticness, that craziness in the ring from
yeah.
Rika.
Listen, Suzume, she's not watching this, but in the slightest chance that she is, the roles have reversed. This is me. I'm the fan who was crying because her favorite just lost. Oh my god! Listen, that ending sequence. Okay, that ending sequence. I think Miu was about to do her running knee thing, and then Arisu grabbed her by the back of her trunks, and then the camera zoomed in on her fucking face, and she just went like Miu's face, and she was like, "Let me finish this, girl." She did that buzzsaw kick, girl. Oh my god! Like I think everyone heard that. Everyone heard that until the back of the room. Everybody heard that kick, and then she landed that knee, and I said, "Listen, Arisu Endo, I know you, girl. I know you can kick out of this." I know you can kick out of this. And the moment I saw that 3 count happen, I said, "Oh my, it's over for me." But yeah, again, There was dignity in the defeat. Nobody looked bad. But at the moment of the match itself and the moment of the loss, I was dead. Okay, I was dead. Like if you guys have seen my timeline that night, oh, I was a mess. I want to say it took me a whole week before we could record this because I needed to internalize this loss. But yeah, I've seen some people say that it's always, there's always a next time. They're always bound to have maybe a second tag team championship run. I'd love for them to have that.
I would love for that too.
Preferably a very long one to have maybe, I don't know, 10 defenses at the minimum because I know these girls can go. So if this was their defining match of their career, I want their next reign to be the okay, bitch, we run this shit now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You need that like top 3 reigns, not just in TJPW all time. You need all timer Jordan, Jordan, like Pippin numbers. You need those.
Please remain a tag team. Please remain a tag team. I've been seeing too much breakups. I've been watching Stardom too much. I hate be stealing everybody. Okay, I don't have faith in tag teams anymore. But listen, I know these two girls love each other. I know they will. I know they're tight. They're tight. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where Miu and Maki go from here. Like, who do they challenge against? Because I don't know how long this reign is gonna last. Like in terms of.
Well, I will say the thing with them is they basically said with this tag match, it was either do or die for them. So they said if we don't win here, we're done as a team. And then they also said if we don't get to at least 10 defenses as a team, then we're also done. So that another thing to lock in because this is actually their second reign as tag champions because their first reign they won them at Grand Princess, Grand Princess, and they lost them in 13 days to Majarabi, and that was a big blemish on both their careers, knowing that they never got to officially fully reign as a team. And so here, that was sort of like the crux, like for this and everything. And so this reign, it like of course like the 10 defenses, like I said, it's either going to be make or break for them. They're either going to go all the way and like really establish themselves and like those titles as like a full like functioning proper like item like the tag titles is like a title to grab, and then same with them as just like a team, or they lose them before they can get to that 10, and then it'll be the end of 1-1 million. But I will say the reign for Daisy Monkey, I was really happy that we got that. Of course, it was forged out of a lot of different situations that happen. Like, of course, with free Wi-Fi being paid Wi-Fi now.
We got a new password.
I'm gonna get some heat for that probably. And then of course with Hyper Masao, she actually like went down with her injury after the fact. But then also just like a lot of teams were just no more. They can't do Majarabi anymore. Yuka's gone. And just a lot of teams were leaving and stuff like that. And so, but the one team that stayed consistent that entire time, that stayed there, was Daisy Monkey. So I'm happy that they got this reign. And hopefully this isn't their only reign. I really hope they get another one, and then another one, and then at that point, after the third one, just hold it forever, and that's it. I'm good. I'm fine.
Listen, I'm fine with that. Really great match. Definitely my favorite match of the night. But that moves us on to our main event of the show, the Princess of Princess Championship match featuring the champion Miu Watanabe versus the challenger Ryo Mizunami. Woo! Okay, you guys. Before anything, allow me to defend myself because I could not enjoy the match during the match was happening because I was still stuck on Daisy Monkey losing. I was like, the match was going on, but I was like, my girls lost. But upon rewatching, thanks to my very lovely Wrestle Universe free trial, you guys, the match was really fun. The match was really good, especially since this was my first time watching a POP championship match as a result of the Tokyo Princess Cup like finals. Like, like sort of like cashing in. I don't know if that's the right term. Cashing in their opportunity to challenge for the belt.
The I'm gonna nerd out a bit here. Forgive me,
You take your time.
forgive me, and forgive me all the viewers at home. So with this, how the first Miu Watanabe and Ryo Mizunami match even happened? That match, this is probably gonna break your heart knowing that this match didn't happen. It was supposed to be Miu Watanabe versus Willow Nightingale.
That was supposed to be a thing.
Yes, but what happened was Willow Nightingale could not get to Japan in time, and Ryo Mizunami stepped up as a replacement for Willow
Okay.
Nightingale, because what happened was Miu Watanabe was International Princess Champion at the time. She was going to defend that against Willow. Willow couldn't make it, and so they made a non-title match with Ryo Mizunami and Miu Watanabe. That Miu Watanabe lost, but of course it was non-title, so she didn't.
Okay.
And so the whole story with Aniki this entire time, Aniki, Ryo Mizunami, whatever you want to call her, and not to spoil the end, to this match for those who don't know, she has been undefeated in TJPW. She has not taken a loss. She's never been pinned. Like, her tag partners have been pinned and whatnot, but she herself has never been pinned or submitted in a match. And of course, I had like my own little theory as to even why she was in the Princess Cup. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was going to be Yuka in the Princess Cup, but of course, I thought it was going to be Yuka in the Princess Cup. She wins. Miu Watanabe gets her win back from Yuka 2 years prior. Beat her in the finals. People were mad. It's the IWC. People are going to be mad. However, however, of course, Yuka was injured. That couldn't happen, and so Ryo Mizunami comes in and just tanks through the entire tournament. She had a really good tournament, honestly, and then faces Miu Watanabe here in this match. This was like a really big moment right here, because at this point, Miu Watanabe this entire year, it was about sort of overcoming. It was a lot about overcoming the odds, because in like when Miu Watanabe, when she lost, or actually no, when she beat Miyu Yamashita for the belt, it was basically ushering the new era, proving people wrong. Basically about
Yeah.
oh, okay, just the reign's gonna continue. Nope. This is the new standard, basically. And then in her first match, and then in her first title defense, I should say, Shoko Nakajima pinned her in a tag match prior, basically, and Shoko was basically like this new era is not starting until I allow it. And then
Yeah.
Miyu proved her wrong. The Vert Vixen match happened. That was a pretty fun match, I will say. But then with Rika, and of course, for people who don't know, Miu Watanabe at that point had never beaten Rika Tatsumi in singles action. Never pinned her or anything. Rika Tatsumi actually beat her in a previous Princess title match and for her International Princess Championship.
Right.
And then Miu Watanabe proved her wrong there and beat her. And then here, that was like basically like the final obstacle with Aniki. No one had been able to stop her at that point. No one has pinned her, submitted her, or anything like that. And I think with this match, the best way to equate this match was, I'm gonna sound like a nerd here. A Destiny boss fight, basically. Like, you have
Okay.
you have all your best gear, you have all your best attacks in your arsenal, and you're going against this boss that you lost to before. You probably lost to them a couple of times. You're frustrated. You went to go get yourself a bag of chips or whatever just to calm down, scrolling your phone a bit. But then you're like, okay, I need to lock in. You change your strategy and you throw everything at this boss. And that's pretty much how it was with Miyu here, with how they were going with Aniki. I'm telling you, it truly played like a boss fight. Like, you have all your
Yeah.
special attack save, you're throwing everything, but they're still like, they're standing, but like they're staggering and everything. And just every beat of this match, like every kick out, every pin, every like big move where they're clubbing or slamming each other down, it worked out beautifully, honestly. And then even for that crescendo, like that end where Miyu axe chops, or axe handles. I call it axe chop because it kind of reminds me of that in a way.
Yeah.
Axe chops Ryo in the back of the head and then hits another tear drop to finally beat her, and then be the only person, the first person to pin Ryo Mizunami in TJPW. I'm like, yeah, if there was, because I know they still want to protect Aniki, still want to protect Ryo Mizunami as a wrestler, or as a competitor for other people to beat. But Miyu basically set the standard of what you're gonna have to do. And funny enough, they kind of foreshadowed that earlier, sort of in this tournament, because in the first round match, it was Haru Kazushiro versus Aniki.
Yeah.
And in that match, Haru Kazushiro basically was just she just would not stop going, and that's something that you need against Aniki, and that's kind of like the advice that Miyu sort of followed. Like, 'cause that was the way that like Aniki sort of was thrown off her game, because you just have to keep being on her. You can't let her breathe
Right.
at all. You need to just stay on top of her, and that's what Miyu did here, and she did it beautifully. I mean, she's a fantastic professional wrestler. Kind of controversial in a way, but watch the match yourself, and please understand that she probably ran away with Wrestler of the Year this year.
I think she's done more than prove herself worthy as the face of TJPW, as the top like champion, right? So I think it's something that she deserves to be recognized for. And I did not know that Ryo Mizunami was undefeated in TJPW, because if I knew this beforehand, then I would have rooted for her in the Princess Cup instead. Because I didn't know that she was undefeated in the company until Miyu. But like knowing that, that's great. Like with Miyu being the first one to beat her in a TJPW ring, then good for her. Definitely cements her more. And yeah, there were also times where I thought that maybe Ryo might take the win, especially after Daisy Monkey. I was like, fuck it, let's just have all the titles change.
have,
you know,
have the two like top belts change hands basically.
right, right. And I mean, like, it's not just anyone. It's Ryo Mizunami. So like, it's someone who's formidable in her own right. And if Miyu was gonna lose it to anyone, then why not a veteran like Ryo Mizunami? So I was like, fuck it, let's just do it if if that's the case. But yeah, I'm glad that preferably I was rooting for Miyu, of course, because again, I feel like she still has ways to go. She still has challengers to face, for that title, like as champion, and I know she wants to defend that belt. Um, so yeah, I was really happy that she retained in this match, and yeah, really happy that she's now really just the face of TJPW. Like when you think of Tej, you see Miu Watanabe's face, you see her doing her LOVE pose, whatever. And I'm just happy that this is the era that I'm getting into TJPW in, like with Miu, with it's still Daisy Monkey, in my heart, it's still Daisy Monkey and Yuki Arai. You know what I mean? But yeah, like you before I got into Tej, like it was always the Miyu Yamashita's, the Mizukis, the Yuka Sakazaki's, the Shoko Nakajima's, so on and so forth. But I'm happy that now it's sort of an era where they're, not necessarily in the back burner, but they're still in the, the top championship like pictures every now and then. But there's also new names arising, like Moka Miyamoto, for example, like Daisy Monkey in my case, like not knowing much about them. Like Kaya Toribami, or who else have I been into? The two rookies who opened the show. What were their names?
Haru Kazushiro and Runa Akubo.
Yeah, I was like, listen, I was like, okay, I have no idea who these girls are, but apparently they're rookies and they're opening the show. I think that's a pretty big like level of trust the company put in them to open like one of their biggest shows of the year, Wrestle Princess. So yeah, I'm enjoying this era.
Yeah, it was especially crazy with that because not only did they open the show, that was their second year opening the show as well.
Really?
They opened it the last year as well. Um, and like those two have just improved just like a lot, even like from that match, like even like from like their first Wrestle Princess match, they improved so much
Yeah.
in the ring and everything, and like, and I'm really happy for them. But yeah, this era of TJPW, it's definitely an era for a lot of people that who may not for a lot of people who weren't like who may not have been fans of TJPW because they feel as if like their favorites and stuff like that were just being put on the back burner. They were never getting like opportunities or anything like that. This is sort of that new era for a lot of them where they're like where this is like, hey, we still have the people around that people like, but right
Yeah.
now, like this is like, but we got these new people here that people are loving. People are chanting crazy for them. People have really like grown more into being fans for these people, and honestly, this is probably one of the best times um, as a fan to get invested into TJPW.
Yeah, I agree. So everyone, if you're listening, if you're watching, get your Wrestle Universe free trial now. Okay, get your Wrestle Universe free trial now. Consider subscribing afterwards because that streaming service is absolutely insane. Like I was like, so how long do I have to wait until I get the Wrestle Princess V video on demand? And then my friend was like, oh, you can just watch it right after the show. I was like,
Yeah.
and stardom for me again. Anyway, but yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic show. And again, anyone watching, I feel like this is the perfect time to get into Tokyo Joshi Pro. And yeah, hopefully everyone else enjoyed it as well. But that pretty much caps things off. Quincy, thank you so much for joining me on this review. Hope you enjoyed your time here in the Joshi Journals. Before I let you off, maybe you want to plug in your socials, your YouTube channel. Where can we follow you?
Of course, of course. You can follow me on YouTube, SlapViperLLC. I post content there as well. Been doing that for about a year or so. At the time of recording this, you can follow me on Twitter as well at SlapViperLLC as well. And pretty much from there, you'll have all like the different socials and there and whatnot. And of course, I recommend matches, and on my YouTube channel, I do like lists, and I do just like sort of video essays and whatnot. I do like breakdowns of certain matches, reviews of pay-per-views and whatnot, and just different stuff like that. Basically, the goal, as I'm sure it is your goal as well, Troy.
Yeah.
That is basically with this is to get people into wrestling that they may not be the most familiar with, or maybe talk about wrestling that no one else seems to be talking about on here,
Yeah.
because it may not be as ingrained into some people's minds, may not be as talked about as by some other people, and of course, like myself and Troy and and a bunch of other creators as well are here to sort of make a change to that and sort of help people
Yeah.
invest in something new, something fresh and exciting.
Right. So be sure to check out Quincy and all of his stuff. He covers a lot. Okay, he's not a Joshi Journals where it's mostly just stardom. He's very well researched. This man has breakdowns of a lot of different matches, a lot of different like predictions. So be sure to check him out. But yeah, in my case, thanks for watching. Be sure to follow Joshi Journals on all of our social medias, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at Joshi Journals. And yeah, what a fun recording session. Thanks so much, Quincy, again for joining us on the show. And with that being said, stay safe, everyone, and enjoy your Joshi wrestling.
Bye.
Bye.